I first arrived at the University of Wollongong in 2012. I did my PhD in Australia, and then I went overseas for a research fellowship in Germany, and so I worked in Germany for a few years. And in Germany, the mode of teaching is very strict and very straightforward, and we used to call it chalk and talk. And that's how people just think mathematics is supposed to be taught. When I got to Wollongong, I realised that I cared a lot more about what students do after we're finished with them, what they do in the workforce. How do they get a job? What kind of job? What are they doing? What are people looking for when they're saying, we want to employ a math graduate? Nobody is employing math graduates because they can solve complex equations or because they can understand black holes in Einstein's theory of relativity. They don't want that. What they're employing them for is this problem-solving ability, this abstraction, the way that they can take a real-world problem, convert it into symbols, into mathematics, solve the mathematical problem in the math domain, and then reinterpret that in terms of the real-world problem. And when you start thinking about this, you realize that we weren't teaching that. And it's unfortunate because a lot of students didn't really get that explicit idea that mathematics is about the real world, that mathematics is about abstraction. It's about trying to learn new things about everyday life. It's not about sitting in an ivory tower calculating meaningless equations that don't have any impact on the real world. It's actually the exact opposite of that. And so we started this long journey where we decided we would teach students how to work like a mathematician, how to think like a mathematician. And eventually it evolved into this idea of working as a mathematician from day one. We teach students how to abstract, so we teach them something called mathematical framing, where they take a real-world problem and then they boil it down into symbols and then work on those symbols abstractly and reinterpret what they can prove in terms of the real world. They produce an individual research report, and once they've chosen a topic, they get together in teams. They have a facilitated team formation to make a contract, to work as a group, to produce a team poster. And then this team poster is presented at the end of the session as part of a community celebration of mathematics. In that celebration, we invite senior students, we invite academics, we invite people from other schools, and we celebrate their achievements. If you told me 3 or 4 years ago when we started this process that we'd have first-year students completing not just individual research projects, but working productively in teams, tackling and explaining hard questions in modern mathematics, I would have thought you were crazy. I was a total skeptic, but now I'm a believer.